One of the reasons we apply formatting to a spreadsheet is to make the data more readable, and a tool that can help a lot with this is the Borders tool. This tool is also located in the font group, and the icon looks a little bit like a small window. Before we can use it, however, we must select the data we want to apply the borders to. So I'm going to select all of my data in this table except for my total data. I'm then going to come up to the borders icon, click the drop down and choose all borders. Now if I click away for a moment, you'll see it has applied borders around each of the selected cells, which makes the grid data much easier to read. For my total row though, I'd like to do something a bit different. So again, I'm going to select it, come to my borders icon, but this time I'm going to choose top and double bottom border. And this time what it's done is it's applied a line at the top and a double line at the bottom, and it just makes the total row stand out a little bit. Another option is to just put a box around the outside of the data. So that's what I'm going to do here. Select my data, come up to my borders and choose thick outside borders. And you'll see this hasn't actually filled the lines in between the cells, it's just done the outside box. So quite a lot of options, and if you want to, you can even get a little bit fancy. So let's try and do something nice to separate our heading from the rest of the data. I'm going to start by selecting all the cells in the top row. Then I'm going to come back up to my borders and click the drop down. But this time, rather than any of the boring black options, I'm going to come right to the bottom and choose More Borders. This is the More Borders dialog, and it allows you to change not just the line style, but also the color and specify exactly which of the borders you'd like to include. So we're going to go for a nice thick border, and I'm going to change my color to a nice blue in keeping with the spreadsheet. And then I'm just going to check my preview, and you can see at the moment I'm getting nothing. So it's important to now specify where you want that border to go, and I just want a bottom border. But you'll see if I click these other things, it'll apply those as well. So I'm going to click that off and say OK. And there's my nice blue border. Now the last thing I need to show you is how you get rid of borders, because they can be a little bit frustrating. So let's say, for example, I've clicked on the cell and accidentally applied a border. Now that's going to look really silly when I come to print this sheet. So I need to get rid of it. I do that by clicking back on the cell with the borders I don't want, coming to my borders icon, and this time I'm going to choose No Border. And you can see that has removed the border from the cell, but oh dear. It has also removed the border from this cell because they shared a border. So now it's important I replace that. So once again, click in here and come back to here and just reapply the all borders. All fixed. Tip to the wise though, wait until your spreadsheet is pretty close to finished before you start adding the borders. But have a go.